Yes.
Brownell.
Yes.
Conley.
Yes.
Van Ort.
Yes.
Hawkinsmith.
Yes. Any special claims? Action on the bill submitted by the county auditor. Roll call.
McCoy.
Yes.
Brownell.
Yes.
Conley.
Yes.
Van Ort.
Yes.
Hawkinsmith.
Yes. Item number 5 is a proclamation, Overdose Awareness Day. Supervisor Van Ort's going to read the proclamation for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Whereas substance abuse disorder, SUD, is a chronic disease characterized by the problematic, compulsive, or difficult to control use of drugs or other substances, despite harmful consequences, particularly when it involves opioid drugs, and whereas SUD is seen by both the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and the World Health Organization, WHO, as a fast-growing epidemic that can all too easily lead to overdose and death, and whereas the CDC's provisional drug overdose death data shows 109,680 predictable overdose deaths in the 12-month period ending December 2022 in the United States. And whereas for every drug overdose that results in death, there are many more non-fatal overdoses, each taking an emotional and economic toll on individuals, their families, and the community at large. And whereas ISUD can fuel feeling of shame, guilt, embarrassment, depression, and hopelessness, causing individuals to resist seeking treatment and support. And whereas Overdose Awareness Day is a global event held on August 31st of each year that aims to raise awareness of drug overdoses, reduce the stigma of a drug-related death, and acknowledge the grief felt by families and friends remembering those who died or were permanently injured as a result of a drug overdose. And whereas the Polk County Board of Supervisors recognizes Overdose Awareness Day in Polk County that sends a strong message to former and current substance users, namely that they are valued and that overdose deaths are preventable. Now therefore be it resolved that the Polk County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim August 31st, 2023 to be Overdose Awareness Day in Polk County in acknowledgement that you are not alone, everyone is somebody's someone, and you can never forget or forever loved, or you are never forgotten and forever loved. I got it right the second time. Signed this day by our chairman, Tom Hawkinsmith.
Thank you, Supervisor. Does anybody speak to this item this morning? Anybody here to speak to this item? Do you know, Sarah? I don't think anybody. Does anybody want to speak? Okay.
I'm going to try to do this without crying. I lost my son November 1st, 2020. My name is Ann Breeding, and this is my son, Daniel. This picture was actually taken on my birthday 2 months before I lost him, and he had just gone through treatment, was 6 months clean, was doing really, really well, had a job, had a car, had a place. And then the sheriff pulled in my driveway right after online church due to COVID, and I had the worst news that changed my life forever. He told me before he had passed that I am different, that I actually love people without condition and without judgment, and that I should think about doing an outreach. And since he passed, Steps of Hope Iowa has been created, and it's now a nonprofit, none of which I intended, but I do believe it's the mission that the Lord has me on, and my son started. So I'm just very grateful that you all recognize, because there's so many people out there that are just like me, that are hurting, and it feels like we're seen, and it feels like we're heard, and it feels like they really do matter, because we know they do, but we want everybody else to know that drugs don't define our kids and their sons, their daughters. His daughter's sitting right back there. It matters so much. Every single step brings hope, and that's my goal for all the families, is just to have hope. So thank you very much for what you're doing today.
We're extremely sorry for your loss. A lot of courage to come down here and tell your story today, so we appreciate it.
Thank you for coming down.
Could we get a photo? Do you want to get a photo this morning with the group that's here to
You wanna come up
support
with
this
your picture?
proclamation? Is anybody interested in doing that this morning? Let's do that. Okay, move on to the next items, public hearing. Becky?
Hearing number 6, resolution approving amendment to lease agreement with JDJ Law Firm for space at the Justice Center.
Approved publication on file?
Yes.
Anyone here to speak for or against? Anyone here to speak for or against?
I have a question.
Okay, seeing none, close the hearing, come back to the board for comments and a motion.
Is this an extension of a lease that we've done before for this firm? Anybody know? Yes?
Thought it was, yeah.
Okay.
I'll move the resolution, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell? Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort? Hawkins Smith?
Yes. Then anybody else here, public comments this morning on any of the items we have today before us? Okay, permits?
Number 8, new application for Class B retail alcohol license for Quick Start at 5145 Northeast 14th Street.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkins Smith?
Yes. Petitions?
Number 9, petitions to suspend taxes and special assessments and authorizing chairperson to sign application and affidavit for redemption of parcel for those listed on the agenda. Number 10 are petitions to suspend taxes and special assessments for those listed on the agenda.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort? Hawkins Smith?
Yes. Resolutions?
Number 11 and 12 are resolutions authorizing the auditor's office to publish notice of public hearings for September 5th on disposal of county interest in real estate.
I'll move those. Second. Discussion? Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkins Smith?
Yes.
13, 14, and 15 are resolutions approving state tax suspensions and special assessments for 6010 Hickman Road, 1221 Burlington Terrace, and 2828 67th Street.
Move it. Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkins Smith?
Yes.
Number 16, resolution approving MHIDDD service approvals and authorizing expenditures from the MHDS Services Fund. 17 and 18 are resolutions approving amended agreements for services with Broadlawns Medical Center and Candeo.
I'll move those resolutions.
Second.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Number 19, resolution approving fiscal year '24 local public health services funding contract with Iowa Department of Health and Human Services. Number 20, resolution approving HIPAA general policies, privacy policies and procedures, and security policies and procedures.
I'll move those.
Second. Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Number 21, resolution approving agreement with Sweeney Group for PREA audit services at the Polk County Jail. Number 22, resolution approving data sharing agreement with cities of Des Moines and West Des Moines. Number 23, resolution approving memorandum of understanding with the City of Des Moines for the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant. Number 24, resolution approving Governor's Office of Drug Control Policy Methamphetamine Drug Hotspots Task Force Grant.
I'll move those collectively. Add a comment on 22, Tom.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Yeah, 22 is the resolution where we're sharing agreement with Des Moines and West Des Moines. What that is, has to do with the public safety answering points or dispatch centers of Westcom, Des Moines, and Polk County. We started working on this about 2 years ago to combine the computer-assisted dispatch capabilities within those dispatch centers so that each dispatch center could see what the other ones are doing. So now we're at the point where Polk County can look at their screens and see exactly what's going on at Westcom, what's going on in Des Moines, and vice versa. They can all see where each emergency vehicle is, whether it's parked at home or it's on a job or whatever it's doing, whether it's an ambulance, fire truck, police car, whatever it is. We can now do that. It's a huge step forward for this community. Each dispatch center, with the exception of Des Moines, would be the second largest city in Des Moines, second largest city in Iowa, I should say. Westcom population is Clive, West Des Moines, Urbandale, Waukee, Norwalk, and Windsor Heights. That population would be the second largest city in Iowa by itself. If Polk County's dispatch clients, Altoona, Ankeny, Johnston, Grimes, et cetera, if they were a population of a city, they'd be the second largest city in Des Moines. So we're talking about huge populations here, and the ability to be able to see and ultimately dispatch for each other is going to be a gigantic step forward for our 911 capabilities. So hats off to everybody for working on this. Sheriff might want to have a comment too. I don't know, Kevin, if you want to say anything about that or not, but it's a huge step forward, I think, for our dispatch centers, and it's a little bit in the weeds, so it's hard to explain to the public, but that's the best I can do.
So is everybody now in the whole Polk County gonna see what's going on?
Yeah.
There's not one community that isn't.
Right, correct.
I'm, as you know, technologically challenged, so are they all on the same CAD, or can they just share information from CAD to CAD?
Right now, they're just sharing information. Us and Des Moines are on the same, and then Westcom's on a different one. But we got a $5 million grant from the state, thanks to some hard work up at the Capitol, which allowed us to do that. But it also made it very, very time sensitive. So we had to kind of rush forward to get that done. And so we will all coming course, some of us are coming to end of life on our computer system. So hopefully when we merge and move forward with this project, and which we will continue to do, we'll all be on the same CAD and everything. But right now, we are Des Moines' backup because we can see everything that they do. They see everything we do. We do that back and forth along with Dallas County. And now that we can see what's going on at Westcom, if they need, Urbandale needs an ambulance from Grimes and they're closest, or Johnston, we can see that, send that, and cuts down on the time in between as far as having to make phone calls. So it was a very nice grant that worked well for the sheriff's office to get. We're hoping that we can maybe get a few more and push forward and get everybody to work together and be on the same system.
Good, great work. Okay. I have a motion and a second, so roll call.
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Number 25, resolution creating side-by-side position within Community, Family, and Youth Services. Number 26, resolution approving employment agreement with Dr. Joseph Blitman.
I'll move those resolutions.
I'll second, and I have a question on 26.
Discussion?
I was curious as to knowing a little bit about the background of the new medical examiner and just the process that we went through for, because I know how difficult they are to locate, and I'm just interested in knowing a little bit about them.
And Jeff Edgar, Human Resources. Dr. Blitman we used the recruitment service, first of all, to help us with the recruitment of Dr. Blitman. That was Jackson Physician Search. We had retained their services back in the spring to be able to help us with a nationwide recruitment for a new medical examiner. For the very reason you were discussing, it was difficult to find it on our own. So they did a nationwide search. We identified Dr. Blitman. He's from Syracuse, New York, currently practicing and doing forensic pathology in Syracuse, New York. And so we were able to bring him out in July to do interviews and meet with him, and he met with the staff, and we would think it's going to be a really good fit for us here. Yeah, Dr. Blitman has been practicing in New York for the last number of years. 3 or 4, I think, and works at a coroner's office out there right now. So, anything to add, John, to that?
Yeah, I just add, in speaking yesterday with the state medical examiner, we're on track to probably have 450 autopsies this year. The cost to the county for the state to perform those autopsies will be somewhere close to $1 million. So in talking with the state medical examiner, you really should try and keep your autopsies to 250 a year below, especially with the chief, who's got some administrative responsibilities as well. So we will begin probably right away searching for a second forensic pathologist. The state is searching for one too. They're just very hard to find as a nationwide shortage. So we'll go right into that mode after we get Dr. Blitman here and start. In the meantime, of course, we have our deputy medical examiner right now, Amanda, Dr. Marino, who is not a forensic pathologist, but having the medical background has enabled her to do a lot of the functions such as sign death certificates, cremation certificates, that'll take some of that burden off what we had previously had on our chief medical examiner. So this is still a work in progress to get this our operation up and going smoothly, but this is a huge first step.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to what we've done with salary on this. I know we were trying to examine whether we had the right salary, and we felt we were too low. What did we end up doing on this?
Yes, the base salary is $325,000. The range we published was $250,000 to $350,000.
Okay.
And so we believe it's commensurate with his experience in just the market right now for a forensic pathologist. It's very, very competitive.
You bet.
We had someone out in February, but lost them to Dallas.
Yeah.
And we went the top end on this with him, and we got outbid by Dallas. So it is it's extremely financially competitive out there.
Yeah.
And we thought we had that guy that went to Dallas, didn't we? So,
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
this is a
Thank you.
big win. And he's coming in October, right?
October 30th, correct.
they have snow in Syracuse.
Are we going to, will he come out sooner to visit? Will he be out?
Well, I don't know if I think maybe
His plan is to come out, secure housing, and visit. So we'll be in coordination with him as he comes out to visit and those sorts of things. Yeah.
Because we'd all like to meet him, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
I find you'll find his characteristics somewhat similar to Josh.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good dry sense of humor, and the staff, all the medical examiner's office met with him and had a good rapport.
Good.
Great, great.
Yeah, this is huge. This is big deal.
Was there a motion roll call, Becky? There was.
Thank you.
Okay. Roll call.
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Number 27, resolution approving City of Des Moines abatement of taxes on various parcels.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Roll call.
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell? Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Number 28, resolution rescinding the previously approved internal procurement policies.
Move.
Second. Discussion? Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yeah.
Van
Yes.
Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Number 29, resolution approving 2080 agreement with the Polk County Library Association.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Number 30, resolution approving fiscal year 23-24 budget for the Iowa Event Center.
Second. Chris, do you want to add anything to this? I know we've discussed it, but if you want to just a quick summary?
Good morning. Chris Conley, General Manager, Iowa Event Center. I just say I feel like the staff put together a solid budget, some highlights. Event programming's really strong on the Wells Fargo Arena side. Live shows are back and then more some. Our tenant teams are doing great. State tournaments are doing really well. The one event that stands out a little bit that's different from the norm is the Iowa basketball doubleheader, which essentially is sold out right now. So things in this next fiscal year for the arena look really good. Convention center, meetings, groups, all that stuff is back strong. I think you'll note that it's a caucus cycle, so that brings on more business on the political side for us. We saw a lot of that over the summer with Family Leader and some other things. So that's really good for our business as well. We'll take a lead in hosting the Media Filing Center in the Convention Center, so that's great. As far as staff goes, you know, for the first time since the pandemic hit, we're back to a full-time staff. We've spent countless hours trying to bulk up our part-time staff, and that's coming back strong too. So we feel like we're in a great position in this fiscal year. We feel like it's a good budget.
Great, great. Any questions for Chris, board members? Okay.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort? Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
31 and 32 are resolutions approving community development grants to the Greater Des Moines Botanical Garden and Skate DSM.
Move.
I'll second both of those,
Move second. Whatever you want, Bob.
whatever Becky says.
Okay, roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes. Communications?
Number 33, notice of appraisement of damages and time for appeal in the matter of the condemnation of certain rights in land for the Southeast Connector, Southeast 30th Street to US Highway 65 project.
Refer to sheriff and treasurer.
Number 34, City of Ankeny, notice of consultation meeting concerning petition for annexation of land by the city. Number 35, City Development Board, filing of written decision, City of Ankeny voluntary annexation, including non-consenting owners within the urbanized area of Altoona. Number 36, City of Elkhart, public hearing notice regarding proposed voluntary annexation request.
Refer to public works and the county attorney. Any budget actions?
None.
Memorandum of appointments?
I'll move the appointment list.
Second.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Yes. I guess if there's nothing else, need a motion to adjourn.
No board staff, but there is one next Wednesday.
Okay?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Roll call?
McCoy?
Yes.
Brownell?
Yes.
Conley?
Yes.
Van Ort?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?